ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ 2021 ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਡਨ ਸ਼ੇਰ-ਏ-ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਤੇ।
ਸਵਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ,
ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਾਡੇ,
ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ
ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨੀ,
ਤਰਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ, ਜਜ਼ਬਾਤ ਦੀ ਕਦਰ, ਹਰ ਘਟਨਾ ਹਰ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਪੈਣੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ।
ਨਾ ਝੁਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ,
ਨਾ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ,
ਨਾ ਦੱਬਦੇ ਹਾਂ,
ਨਾ ਵਿਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਹਰ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਦੀ ਜੜ ਤੱਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਾਰ।
ਦਿਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਰਾਤ, ਹਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਤਿਆਰ। ਬੁਲੰਦ ਸੀ
ਤਾਂ ਸੁਣੋ ਦ ਨਵਜੋਤ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਸ਼ੋ ਓਨਲੀ ਔਨ AM 600 ਸ਼ੇਰ-ਏ-ਪੰਜਾਬ।
ਅੱਜ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਸ਼ੇਰ-ਏ-ਪੰਜਾਬ 600 AM ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੌਣਕਾਂ ਨੇ। ਵੱਖੋ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਕ ਜ਼ੂਮ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਤਾਰੁਫ ਕਰਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ 20 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ 15 ਤਰੀਕ ਅੱਜ ਦਿਨ ਸਿਰਫ 5 ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਨੇ। ਔਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਬਾਰੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਬਾਰੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਪੈਸ਼ਨੇਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਦਾ ਬਾਰੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਰਹੇ ਔਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਫੋਰਮ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ 20 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਐਡਵਾਂਸ ਪੋਲਿੰਗ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਅਲੱਗਾ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਜੇ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ, ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲੈਣਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਐਪਲ ਨੂੰ ਐਪਲ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਾਡੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੇ ਫੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਹੋਣੀ। ਫੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਬਸ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਜੋਗੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਿਹਾਇਸ਼ ਹੈ। ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚੀਅਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਚਰਚ ਨਿਊ ਵੈਸਟਮਿੰਸਟਰ ਦਾ ਅਕਸਰ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਸਮੇਤ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਡਗਲਸ ਕਾਲਜ ਤੋਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਬਾਕੀ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੂੰਹੋਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਿਛੋਕੜ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੈਕਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਬਾਰੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹਣਗੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ। ਹੈਲੋ ਫੈਰੀ, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Hello, and thank you very much. I'm looking forward to having a discussion with you.
You are running for green and you are wearing green.
Yes, I thought I'd show it just so everyone remembers.
Before we go to the political questions, Perry, I would like you to tell a little bit about your background and your family life and everything else.
Sure. It's a long story, so I'll try and keep it short. I'm married now, and I was married earlier as well. And then in between, I became a single parent. I have 3 older children. All 3 have graduated from post-secondary. My daughter went to University of Saskatchewan. And I also had a previous, I worked in accounting for 20 years, from about age 20 to age 40. Then that's when I became a single parent after that. So I had to make some choices and family came first. So that's what I did for a while as a single parent. And now after coaching for many years, my children and helping with the school system, bringing as part of a DPAC or District Parent Advisory Council and the Parent Advisory Council of the different schools they went to. I now chose that we need to, because of this election, I needed to step up and help the Green Party have a presence in Ottawa, as well as represent the Fleetwood Port Kells and the Surrey area so that we can have a voice there as well.
Being a coach is a wonderful job that you did so far, and a sports person and helping kids to stay away from rest of the activities that probably there's always in the news nowadays, as you know, right? So what brought you to the politics?
Well, I did run about 25 years ago in our school district. I ran as a school trustee and got me back to it now just because the way the Canada especially, but the world as well, is going, that there's so many issues that need to be addressed that I think are just falling by the wayside, that the Green Party in particular, I connected with them as because their values and that sort of thing align more with what I'm aligned with.
So once you decided that politics is part of your personality and you want to be in politics, then how did it start to begin with, and why did you choose Green Party? Because as far as I know, back home we never heard about Green Party, and I remember 15 years or so, people used to say that this party is concerned about grass and this party is concerned about electoral reforms. Two issues I know, and rest of the things I didn't.
That's just a part of it. The way I got started into the Green Party was first provincially. I helped out on a couple campaigns the last few elections, and then 2019 I helped out as well with Annie Mae Paul in Toronto with the by-election, as well as helping out with the Green Party candidate for Fleetwood Port the last time there was a federal election here. And just the reason I got into the Green Party more than the others is just there's too many things about the other parties that I just totally disagree with. Basically, the lack of action on all of the parties, and some of their moral standards, I have a big question about. The way Jody Wilson-Raybould was treated with the Liberals, and with this particular dissolution of the Parliament, I heard from many of the MPs that were not going to seek re-election just because the toxic environment that is in the Parliament right now. And as for me, I feel I could help contribute to showing that the Parliament and the House should be reflective of Canada and should be the highest standard. There should not be any discrimination or racism or any of the stuff that's going on. I'm granted hearing it from the outside, but heard it directly from some MPs, the way they felt they were treated. And that to me is totally wrong. And considering that the Green Party is only a small portion of that, the majority of that falls on the other parties who are basically have that kind of conduct. And that should not be happening.
Apart from the platform that we do discuss all the time, Green Party's platform, and all those issues will come there as well. But what are the riding specific issues, if you want to tell your listeners, your voters in your area?
Yes, I've had many, many messages, and unfortunately I haven't been able to get back to them all so far, but some are involved in the environment to do with the pipeline. Some are involved in cell phone bills. Some are about saving salmon stocks. There's so many messages that a varied interest from the riding and the people who have contacted me. I will reply to them eventually. So there's a lot of interest that I would like to tell them I am concerned with those things as well. And if elected, because that's the only way I can help get things done, one at a time, I will try and work on those, and I will communicate with all the constituents, all the voters. Even if you don't vote for me, I'll be communicating with you to let you know how I'm progressing and getting those things put forward in the House.
What difference, Perry, you find as far as the two leaders, Elizabeth May and Annie Mae Paul now? Because Elizabeth May, I have great appreciation for the lady. She was a single person representing Green Party in the Parliament, and she did really well. And when she was a leader, party grew at the provincial level, at the municipal level, and we were very hopeful, actually. Even though we personally, I don't support Greens, but I was always a well-wisher of the party that there should be some representation, right? So what happened when Annie Mae Paul came? You worked with her very close.
I believe. Oh, sorry.
Why she couldn't keep the party, together?
Well, I think it's only a small portion that are being allowed that makes it look like they're not being held together. Me as a Green Party member, even before I was running, I didn't feel that we weren't being held together. And I've read and heard from many people who do feel that she is holding the Green Party together. Yes, we lost the MP in Fredericton for now. Hopefully we'll get that seat back. I do not understand why she left in a way, because of the way during the election, during her campaign, before she spoke so much against the Liberals, and then all of a sudden she's joining them. It does not make sense to me that she would do that. But other than that occurrence, many people have spoken highly of Annie Mae Paul. I've only seen her through internet as well because of COVID and travel restrictions and all that sort of thing. But every time I've heard her speak and been able to communicate with her through that modem, everything has been positive, and we've been working together to try and before the election, just to talk about things. And then now that the election call came, we're working together to try and get as many Greens as we can to get some good representation in Ottawa.
So do you trust in your leader? Do you trust in her leadership qualities? Because she has many qualities. As far as she's a lawyer, as far as I think she's a lawyer, and she's a woman, first woman leading the Federal Liberal Party she's a black woman and and Jewish background as well. So all those
Yes.
qualities in one person is a very rare thing.
Yes.
Do you think she can, if she wins, do the same job or maybe even better than Elizabeth May?
I think she brings a different perspective than Elizabeth May, and hopefully Elizabeth May gets elected too. And because one thing that's I find different than the Green Party than the other ones, they talk about whipped votes and that sort of thing. The other parties have to follow the line of the party, whereas the Green Party is different. We work together. We talk and we resolve things. We research things. We come up with the best solutions. Doesn't matter whether it's a Liberal proposal or a NDP or a Conservative or even a Green one or anyone else, even independents. Like Jody Wilson-Raybould last time was independent. She would have been a good leader of the Liberal Party or any party as Prime Minister as well. Like I felt very highly of her.
At one point, I think Elizabeth May gave some hints that she may invite Jody Wilson-Raybould. Anyways, that's a history now. So what are the issues? Let's talk about the national level. Why people should prefer Green Party this time. Kindly let people know in general.
Well, normally the Green Party is associated with environment. And this year it hit harder than ever that the environment needs to be done. The Green Party is definitely not a one issue party. Every issue is important, but the environment affects health, and affects the food. Like there's droughts and that across Canada, and not just Canada, other places as well. If we do not get the environment turned around, and the Green Party really is the only one looking at making changes so that we can get back to what we need to, so we can grow crops, so we don't burn down towns, so people don't die of heat exhaustion. The Green Party is the only one seriously taking that. And we're not just trying to get the targets down. We're trying to get negative. We have to get back to a prior time. If we even just stay what we are now, we're still in big trouble. Like I've seen lots of the farmers are important type of thing, and farmers need water. Like all these, one thing I thought of is all these oil pipelines that are hurting the environment. If we change and move those workers to maybe pumping some water to where the farmers need it, that we solve two things in one. We get rid of the pipelines and we help the farmers grow some crops. So there are lots of different ways of going about it. And that would be one thing I would bring there. If no one's thought of that before, find out why they haven't thought of it, because it's very evident now. And just the other part to do with the forest fires and that, we need to be proactive, not reactive to what happens because of the fires. We need to invest in it with resources and with people so that we can prevent these fires from happening and destroying lives, basically.
I don't deny that, but in this election specifically, people are talking about vaccines, people are talking about jobs, housing affordability, people are talking about the recovery, how quickly we can regain what we lost in the last 2 years. So those issues are not that important. Environment is, of course.
They're all connected as well. Like for jobs, getting people into a cleaner technology, that's one of the green goals as well, is because that would create jobs, help the economy, and it would help us there's probably other countries ahead of us right now. It would at least help us catch up to other countries in developing things. There's one, the electronic chips, microchips and that sort of thing. We don't have apparently anyone manufacturing those in Canada, just like we didn't have anyone manufacturing the vaccine. So we're behind and trying to gather from other places. So if we start getting ahead of the curve and doing things that we're going to need now and into the future, then we'll be able to help our economy, help the deficit, help jobs. Like there's so many different things, and if it's clean technology, then we'll be helping health and we're helping the farmer. Like there's so many things. It's a domino thing, one after another, basically.
So, done with this interview, but in last 2 minutes, how do you go to people? What's your conversing style? Because this is a special election, and today even Aaron O'Toole was saying that Trudeau is not doing the right thing, going to people and holding huge meetings and all that. What's your style?
My style is a little different. I'm a different, or not really a politician in it per se. I approach it as a job. To me, I'm out there working for everyone in my constituency, no matter how they're going to vote. At the end of the day, I'm going to be showing them that I'm going to be doing a job for them. And if I get elected, the plan is to do that. I will be reporting back to them, just like an employee would be reporting to their boss, or a company reporting to a client or a customer. You have to do what they are, whoever hired you to do the job. Otherwise, you won't be employed. My way of doing it, because Fleetwood Port Kells is quite a large area with some farmlands and that thing, and I've done a little bit now, but it's going out to every part of the area. Anyone who's outside and around, through parks and that sort of thing, engaging with them, asking if they voted, because they've already made their choice. But if they haven't, then and basically volunteering some information about the Green Party and asking them if they know what we're about. And I want to touch every area of Fleetwood Port Kells before Monday starts, basically. So by Sunday night,
what happens when you go? What happens, Perry, when you go for door knocking? As there are so many methods, instruments, and polls and surveys and everything. What happens when you go for door knocking, and what's your gut feeling? How people are responding to your when you go door knocking?
A lot of mine isn't totally door knocking, because I'm respecting the COVID thing and people's privacy and that sort of thing. Mine is basically if people are out and about, so it's a little safer outside, that's when I greet them. And it also allows me to get around to more of the area, because I want to be seen in all the area. I can't be one person everywhere at the same time. So the more area I can cover. So I basically meet the people who are outside in parks and that sort of thing. And that's how I do it.
Let me be very clear, because people, they know that Greens are not making the government there. Greens are in a survival mode, I would say that. But are they willing to listen to your story? Do they want to find out what the party stands for?
Yes, for sure. I get lots of honks and waves and people driving by and that sort of thing. It's because as we're going down the street or busy corner, lots of people are interested. I prefer engaging with people like off the main street, because when they're driving, they can't stop and talk to you. But when they're out doing their lawn or just going for a walk, that's when I can engage with them, and their waves and smiles enough. There are, like, it's not 100%. Like, no one's going to get elected with 100%. So there are some opposed, but I'm willing to talk with anyone. When I was not getting my nominations, there were people.
Perry, like they say, they also serve who only stand and wait. Even if you don't win, it's very, you need a lot of courage to run. So I think that's a wonderful decision that you made. But let's go to another issue that's very important for the people of city of Surrey: gangs and wars. People are so much, worried about the law and order situation. I guess we are running short of time now. I'm getting a sign from there. Anyways, in the end, what's your closing remarks? And you can leave your number for your followers, for your sympathizers, and the ones who want to vote for you.
My closing remarks would be: look at me as not really just totally Green Party. Look at me as a person who wants to work for you, who will basically report back to you, will talk with you. Communication is key, and I will listen, and I will work and research to find out what the best solutions are, because that's what Greens do. Basically, that's what I do. That's what I'm used to with my education, and I will act on them. I won't just leave them to the side and just promise them at election time. I don't just talk at election time. As an elected official, I will be talking from now till the Parliament is dissolved.
If you have any number you want to leave, people can call you.
Sure. My phone number is 604-690-9843. But you can also find all the information on the greenparty.ca's website. Look under candidates, and I'm right in there under the BC, and then you'll find me under Fleetwood Port Kells.
And you are a very cool guy. I'd like to have a coffee with you one day once you go to Ottawa, if you can find time for me.
That would be great. I would love to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਨ ਜੀ ਪੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਹੋਣੀ। ਪੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੇ ਫਲੀਟਵੁੱਡ ਫੋਰਟ ਕੈਲਿਸ ਤੋਂ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਲੜ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੜਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਹੈ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਫਿਲਾਸਫੀ ਨੂੰ, ਸਿਆਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਦਾ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਸੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਖੜਨਾ ਲੜਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਕਿ ਪੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ PPC ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਹਿਮਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਈ ਡੋਰ ਨੌਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ ਉਹਦਾ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਾਣ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਕਿਸੇ ਖਿੱਚ ਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਰਾ ਪਰਾ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਗੁੰਜਾਇਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ। ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁੱਡ ਬੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟਫੁਲ ਦ ਪੀਪਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਪਾਲਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਪੈਰੀ ਡਨਿਓਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੋਚਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਲਈ ਰਨ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਦੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਰਵ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਡੋਰ ਤੇ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲੰਘਦੇ ਟੱਪਦੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਸ਼ਰਟ ਪਹਿਨੀ, ਕਿਤੇ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਫਲੈਗ ਚੱਕੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ ਰਹਿਣੀਆਂ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਦਿਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਡੈਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟਸ ਆਉਣਗੇ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ। ਕੁਝ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੀਗ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਕਰੀਏ। ਨਵਜੋਤ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਬਾਏ ਦ ਵੇ, ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅੱਜ ਇਹ 600 AM ਹੈ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਿਰਣਾ ਕਰਨਾ। ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੈਲਿਊਏਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ।